we'll begin our class by saying the prayers on page number 10. Um, on page number 10, each verse we'll say two times in Tibetan, all the way to page number 12. And after finishing in Tibetan, and we'll say in English each verse one time from the page number 11. Yin la ya zon che wo la ma la ya zon che wo son ye la ya zon che wo che la ya che wo de la ya zon che wo Song ye che na zu je cho nam la chang ju bo do da ne zo je da ye ye zo je ve so nam je do la ben je song ye do ma ye che na so je lai chang jo ba no na ne ya so che da ye je so je ve so na la pen je san je ro sho ya sem je nam je ne wa de ve jo dan de bar jo je sem je tam je do ma dan do ma je je dan Durje, Semje, Tamje, Bebe, Dewa, Benda, Juje, Semje, Tamje, Yera, Chata, Kanyon, Dewa, Juru, Haje, Semje, Tamje, Juno de Mara Juji Simje Tamje Dumana Dawara Juji Simje Tamje Duma Bebe Dewa Tamendawara Juji Simje Tamje Nye Chado Ni Da Da We Ta Ni Wara Juru Je O Sa Je Bo Je Jo Jo De Do Na Le Je A Ni De A Je Ba De So Je Shan Do Mi De Bo Ye Jo Nam Da She La Jo Jo Yi Na Wu Ro Ra Na Me Da La Ga Me Ya Da. In English, on page number 11, I take refuge in the Guru, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. From now until my enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And by the merit created in this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be separated from joyful bliss. May all sentient beings embody equanimity, pure bias, attachment, and anger. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, Mount Meru, encircled by the four continents, surmounted by the sun and the moon. I visualize this Buddha. Living beings enjoy the pure land. Ilang Guru Rana Mandala Kame Yadaya.
이치가 또 좋다 해봐.
Buddha Moja.
이거 와서 봐.
Yeah.
뭐 지금
Okay.
뭐지?
So today we'll skip Tibetan's recitations of foundation prayers, but we will chant in English. So that's Kishila said that chant it slowly, slower than before. So maybe and so the reason we say it slowly, so why we chant or recite each word, so we can analyze or the contemplate on each of the words. And so the foundation prayers is on page number 15. Okay.
Foundation prayer 15. The foundation of
All good qualities
is kind and
venerable,
correctly is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it fades and death comes. After death, the effects of black and white karma proceed, and the shadow follows the body. Finding firm and definite conviction in it, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativities, and to accomplish all virtuous deeds. Seeking the pleasures of samsara, please cherish suffering. They are uncertain and cannot be relied upon. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the Patimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Having seen that all beings, my kind mothers, have fallen, like myself, into the ocean of samsara, may I train in the supreme bodhisattva and bear the responsibility of freeing all my beings. If I develop bodhisattva without practicing the three types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. by pacifying distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzing the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the path uniting calm abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortune ones, the Vajrayana, the highest of beings. The basis of accomplishing the true attainments is keeping pure vows and commitments. Having become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges with my life. Having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of the Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the four sections, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. May the Gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, may I never be separated from the perfect gurus
and
and
magnificence
magnificent
of
Dharma.
Dharma,
By completing qualities of stages and paths, may I quickly attain
the stage of Vajrayana.
들어봐. 이쪽 녹수다. 일단 뭐 시사트 장도 뒤가 보는데 시도 또 남시.
Uh, so Kishila passed me the note, want me to
시킨 거 계속
want me to read. First, train in the preliminaries. The preliminaries are also known as the four reminders in your daily life. So if you like to try to implement these four preliminaries practice, the first one is maintain an awareness of the preciousness of human life. So this is the first. And the second is to be aware of the reality that life ends. Death comes for everyone's. Third is recall that whatever you do, whether virtues or not, has a result. What goes around comes around. And the last fourth, contemplate that as long as you are too focused on self importance and too caught up in the thinking about how you are good or bad, you will suffer. Observing, no, not observing, sorry, obsessing about getting what you want and avoiding what you don't want does not result in happiness.
하여튼 같은 거 무슨 로스라.
Mhm.
근데 같은 거 게임 됐어.
Yeah, so Mari, the Kishila's teacher, Mari, gave it to him.
대사 안에 다다는 가서 딜로도는 다 당보텔라 다 영집 때는 거리 다 성인이 영집 다 용도 사오지시 다 삼는 책이라 다 당보텔라네 긴자치 보이는 세트 그러나 또중 같이 모여 시골 티스문 섬세 티스문 섬진 샤워한다 건지나 마노라지니 또 동어만 하거나 에텔라 삼로도는 마노 당보 하고 소소 아무도 니한테는 때 하고 하고 뷰텔라 네 럭는 다와이나 소소 톱자지는 거 대자다 때 톱을 셔발라 때 리지 제울 셔발라 때 그런 거 하고 근데 냠노 정정 근데 지금là 기회신이들 땡고 요래 당부터 시고 그렇지
Mhm. So we've been discussing about the very important teachings called the Foundation's Prayer that we just chanted. And we started this a few weeks ago. And so instead of me going what we left last week, I want to repeat and from the beginning, which is I think very important to kind of reminds that what we have learned so we can able to recall some of the importance we might missed. And so I will go through briefly the meaning of the each of the verses on the foundation prayers. So foundation prayers, the first is explain and talk about the importance of the guru or the master, and the guru and the guru or the masters. They are very precious as well as very important, and and um, um, so in and also secondly is also talk about the whatever we do in our life, make sure you understand the things and event, the priority to engage the that very important task in your life, and that means that through the practice of the listening, contemplations, and the meditations, and so the here also Kishila mentions that so whatever we do, make sure we don't make any mistake, and understand the things and events before we engage, and uh, so before we engage, and also make sure we find uh, the experience or the authentic the teacher or the guru who also have a great knowledge and experience who can give you the right path of the teachings.
Niwa te ngazu mi la marshi wa tongkwa se marshi azna tondok pa kajin kane shet ba tongkwa zle ti tondok sam na tane chart ba de ti ni to zong shi ya gi ro yo ngazu mi ti tende za cham ko to shi.
And second, the verses talk about the precious human life. That once we have this precious human life, we can do many things in our life, especially that what we have, the very useful things we have, that we able to speak, and not only just speak, we have a mind or the intellectuals, the mind that we can think, and we can analyze and do all kinds of things by using the mind, and so that's why this precious human life is very important.
O tende zi ngaro yor ta yo na yung zazu chi bo te matak pa ri ma chka me cha no kure ti shi ko ta da so so la kokok to yu kokok to tam zi ma shor chi ko ma to ni ma chka ti shor ro re
Mhm.
ka ti shor ke ni yo ma re ta cho ma ta shi ko
Mhm. And so that's why be aware and always careful with your life, and make sure you able to use this uh, your precious life in any positive. Try to use this in any positive activities, and because that very precious life is also impermanent, and we never know that when it will show the end of our life.
야, 근데 신로에나 근데 매어 차소나 가려 그러지나. 매어 차소나 따다 뭐 친들라 강지야 돼. 린디스야 따뜻이고 린디 좀 따는 데라 야고지나 뭐 친들라 디튼데 좀 뭐 있으면 샤워 해보지나. 좀 내가 또 그래야지. 샤워 드자지나 좀 내가 또 그래야지. 대체 또 린디 좋아하면 말해야지. 뜻이 뭐지?
Um, and so mm, once we use up or the finish this life, and then what what we carry with us, this we call the karma, the the cause and effect, the karma that what we accumulate in this life. For example, if you accumulate positive and a good thing in your life, then you will uh, eventually you will experience the goodness in your life or next life, and also if you accumulate bad karma or bad deeds, then also that very cause will arise and the next life, and you will always experience the cause that you created.
대체 린디 세워서 섬유고 또 리좀드세 때종 것도 또 시스템 때때 종고요 맞으나 달로 사은다와나 놓지 맞들라 또 토요와 송아도 원심도 맞죠 근데 때랑 요왔다 보니 송아 아니 저런 예득근 남적들라 다시 없이 봐지 이게와 주춘치나 때부터부터 능 먹이와 총총도 나쁜 것부터 된 맞추지게 되시라对当不当吧这地当那吧他们是的朋友去了咱们就忙的个是哦这是我是就能我是我
Uh, the cause and effect, or the law of causality or the karma, and uh, some are the karma. They are very profound and hard to tell when it will arise. The cause that we created. But if I give you an example, the karma. Sorry, throat. Uh, there's a karma, maybe. What kind of karma, I made my experience.
달라
So this is karma of the dust, dust karma, or the season's energy. So like this one, this is the instant karma that we can experience. Or the Gishila just mentioned, the planting trees or the flowers. You can see and result within the short period of time. Like you gave the whatever the the sources for the plants, and you will see that within the short period of time the cause and the result of the plants. And but if we understand the very importance, the knowledge of the karma and all the cause and effect, then we always be be careful, or be aware of our activities, and whatever virtues and the non-virtues we do, we try to be um, aware of the presence or the futures, and of the virtues and non-virtues.
지통지나 삼로 야고 당나 림리 참고 살때 지 당사보래 저 힘을든 쉐트고 마르티나 림리 정바도 마로 못친데라 미카진 법중 yak고지 여러 조정진이 마원 못치도 되게 통단 받지니 기슈요 년트요 반주요 던지니 못치자고 미코치 약간 득자진에 고마죠 미설 던지니 못치 그런 종강나는 건데 근데 못치 종강나는 자도 또 뭐좀 통도 말이죠 림비즈나 소수 제당지가 같은 삶. 이 당보 지하데 강력 당보 좀 그롱 같은 그롱 같은 링리섬도 배주 당텔 같은 샤워도 텔 같은 리근 남은 조트만 거지. 또 림지락 버리서. 답대우지 something that 당하듯이.
Um, the so karma, or the cause and effect, there are different kinds of the karma. The karma that we can see, and we can tell this the cause and effect. But some are the karma, or the cause and effect are very subtle, and hard to explain. And for example, the clear and obvious the karma will be, for example, the individual who will, at the very beginning, he or she will attend the school from the very beginning, and until he or she will finish their educations and then graduate and become a professor, or or other kind of professionals, master of anything. So not only that, they can able to do wonderful work and service in this life. So when we look at this, so we see the cause and effect of the karma. And similarly, if you look at the other part of individuals, and they might involved in some of the negative things and events, such as stealing, killing, and so forth, and they eventually they will end up in prisons. And again, we'll see the cause and effect, the karma. Uh, so karma, or the cause and effect, is uh, the really created by the motivations. When we look at the whole picture of the individual who went to school and finish and do wonderful service and job in their life, versus the person who involved in the negativities and end up in the prisons. So when you look at those pictures, it's all started from the one's motivations, or when they have motivations, due to the motivations which they put that very motivations, negative mind into the actions, and the actions, uh, either physically and verbally, they will create the either bad karma and good karma. And most of the time we can see in our eyes, and it could tell the cause and effect, or the law of karma.
그것도 리그라 니와 담보 니용나더니 데지가 남쪽다 싸울 거 나왔다. 니와지나 저거대와 냠슬랑나 탓 대화 토기와 대화 또 너무 원도 손나 디 배우 등을 용지와 코르와세 특파이 리뇽구지 쓴정나 코르와드네 디동나 바담 등을 용용 봐 람기 람도 비주 야 남성부 쇼라 로바제나 람기 타와토나 디동나 바담 데기 바타 하고나 다 타와도 니기로 좀 많이 받기라 지그랬어 디나 니 종목색 그랬어
Uh, so it is the knowledge of the karma is very important. So when we understand the very the detail, the knowledge of the karma or the cause and effect, then we can also understand uh, the Dembashi Namsha. Yeah, will understand the meaning of the four noble truths. And for example, by conducting non-virtues, and we will always end up in samsara. And not only that, we always experience the suffering in our life. But if we uh, engage in the path of the liberations, or the path of the accumulations of the virtues and so forth, then we eventually will attain the liberations. And the having a strong wish to attain the liberations. So this is the called the renunciations.
딱 민중들라 기원나 네 다 타와도 니기로 타와도 시발라 당고 타와도 단나 낭비 콘수스나 잡스로 거르지
So when we have renunciations, then we have a wish to attend the liberations, and once we, in order to attend the liberations in the Buddhist, um, the practice of philosophy, there's teachings, or they've been taught that we have to take refuge, or the explanations of the three jewels.
딱 강인스 나네 성지 공 람트 냠슬랑니 코 봉바 토교 기우지로와 이제 디 빌라유 요는데 소소라 토고 드진 돈도 짓든 지kom서 성지들 있는 게인들 잡송에 가르치는 디기 요는데 소소들라 콜라 토피 요는데 소소라 토버 뭐 토피 요바 진짜 토바지기 토비 쳇다네 아주 지원 줬다더니 얘네 비비는 받던데 동 양비 조동 조바지기 인도 검정도 양 때라 조치 잡선 놓은 거 최초 참말로 인도 검정 때 잡선 때 잡선 로네 다들 무일도 소수 타와 토바던 yana 심지 담지도 담지 기비고 뭐 토바더니가 민중 강 무일도 니키고 그래서 강 크리나
So could you some the Deshirang?
건소서 뭐 선지 공중 시공중 민의 공중 잡수로 연선다 디지지 연단도 소 토비치 다바당 공중 다바테 디노네 다바트 조네 공토지 다바테 고스
And the three jewels, or the uh, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, when we take refuge, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, our the aim uh, to achieve the knowledge of the Buddha. So that's why we go to the or take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And so Buddha is the one who present the numbers of the teachings, and yeah, it's like a teachers who will give the teachings and so forth. And once we gain this the knowledge, or in order to gain this knowledge, we have to rely on the sangha members and like students who can help us to achieve this knowledge. And but when we take refuge to the three jewels, make sure we have the one of the longing faith toward the three jewels, and our aim is taking refuge to the Buddha Dharma Sangha. Our aim is to achieving the Buddha, the teachings of the Dharma, and so reason we achieving the Dharma. So in order to either self liberations or the liberations for the sake of all sentient beings. And when we have that kind of strong wish to attain the liberations, so this the the called the renunciations.
onde la launu chimo no na ka ja na chitong rong na ba to gun shi sum sanji kom cho ne yin ma ba to gun shi kom cho de men gun shi yin de kom cho de na yo gun shi ta na ser wa o din de shi chen wil te so so dal tar wa ji ne cha ga shi ju wil te ke no ji ne so so chitong kori no na ma ri pi ng ki ng da ng ba sanji kom cho de yo pi ni wa yo pi ko lam tun jing ta gi ni tela tene sanji kom cho lam tun ji lam de nyam slang na so so ge la sher samji mu chi pat ki mari pat sever shit pa ta te sever shit bala te yo la to tong chi to la so pat ni ko go te no ja mam tela ya ni te pe ya ro se
디페 디kin시다가 랑 네바도 두시체 네
sanji ma ba to
선제
chi ko so han de shi
칼리브 상인 네바도 두시체 네
chi mang de shi
주메 두시
근데 kom so na yo gun de shi muil te so so te dinga te nal li ton nal te li thana sa be tharwa darwa nal te li thor se bala sanji kom so ma be kan nyam ba te ke lan ni men te sai na na yo so shi na so so nal li thar ko o ti na so muil te nal li tharwa che na so so dinga li hori dinga li thana sa be sam lo klong te se
uh, so when we so Gichila gave three the examples of uh, the
dang shi mu na shi
uh, that explain in the Lamrims, and that we have to consider three things. The first one is when we engage the Buddha Dharma teachings, or the taking refuge, we have to have three considerations. The first one is we have to think us, or me or I, as a sick persons. So this is the first considerations, and the second is the Buddha as a doctor, and the third is the Dharma as a medicine, and and the fourth Sangha members, or the Sangha considered as a nurse. So these four things that mentions in the Lamrim, we have to consider, or the considerations, four kinds of considerations, and but our aim will be freeing from the samsara, meaning attending the sick persons, attending the liberations.
그 잠도 듣고 보면 잠도 좀 대통 배다 잔디즈 고마이나 잔디즈 잡숨 니기모를 더 잔디즈 끝에 있는 검소 송송도 지검소시 특히 상기 검소시 듣고 나도 그러지 때문에 이 삼동만 상지 좀 더 또 멋있게 또 삼도 이거 공동지 요는지 시공 좀 될지 쓰는 원에서 상지 선바 탐지 또 탐지나 때 안에 맞다고 배고 와도 그러기는 탐지 잡으셨지 그 잡았 랑 잡으셨지 잡았 심지 탐지 좀 잡았 딱 잡고 섬들 섬동에 전부 가고 또는 또 나를 또 겁나
점로디 지리스 공제 구선.
전도 그 탑을 요물 강고 온 게나 다 겁는데 선좀 던지 겁는데 그랬지.
Okay, so today we'll meditate on the refuge. And when we meditate on the refuge, you can meditate on of course, you can meditate on Buddha, but also you can meditate on other refuge objects, on image of the Buddha compassions and other Buddha as well.
엄청 숨서야 오늘 선지식을 참고할 선점들이 끝에 있는 조지 송도 지금 조지 특히 선지 검주지 보면
The Hindu Kunchochi, 2D.
송도 지금 조지 어떻게 연는데 좀 어려워서 특히 그런 거 이게 연는 선지세도 그런 거 이게 용 공차도 선지로
네. So when we meditate on the refuge of the any objects of the Buddha, you can think of the three refuge of each of the Buddha, either maybe Buddha compassions or the Buddha Shakyamuni or other Buddhas. And for example, when we think of the Buddha, we have to think the three things of the teachings of the Buddha and uh, the the mind of the Buddha himself, and uh,
그
the dharma of the Buddha body as well.
맞다.
Sangha. Sorry, the body is the Sangha.
다바데 원토지 다바데 공부했어. 공부도 봤어.
And the make sure you have a longing faith. Any questions?
야, 저 total면은 너무 그렇고 싶었어요.
Yeah, if you don't have questions, yeah.
Is merit the same thing as karma? If you create good merit, you create a good karma.
The the 뭐지? 레다 이 총이라 직발을 했어요. 그래서 총사도 sama 총사야 더니 레야 무사야 지도 이 직발을 했어요. 총사야 더니 무사야.
속성나데 속세데 제동 총나 이 좀이 좀을 너무 단다 속세데나 이 속세 이 속들라 제동 리데 사바즈발 리 소자와데니 그런 거 끝내라니 이런 거 좋아하실 것 같으니 냠데 소용을 줬더니 딱 교지 교지 듣고라 어때 들었더니 교대와 거지 그 컨트롤 초소도는 교 어블링을 있은 거 그래서 봐요 성주 사송나 성주 들라 뭐지 토에나 네데 그래서 뭐지 마토에나 컨트롤 되게 하는 거 잡았어 와서 그때 되게 챗이 소마지 봤더니 소지 챗이 인쇄 되고 토에나
레세트다 차와질라고 해서 그러나.
저랑 속성나다 텔라tin 리데 조라테니 교아지아지가 이제 높이 차지라 무기위 차 이용고라 레라 초성是专门说给一种了，초성
근데 촉은 디스다 소남도인데. 소남.
소는 나 초성나 지바 기똥지는 하고 소는 지 초성지 초성가 들어가는 거 무시비 백바정의 탑이 그렇지. 그것도 타라도 무시 초성 받던 백바정 와지. 초성은 것도 니와 컴페티던 거들. 그냥 알아서 저 로그인나 디챗 마산도 선이 또 지금 무슨 지체 탑시도 초성가 때 만들 부활을 속았지. 샤차를 속았죠. 백바정세 소소 니와요 니와도 하고 니와도 지금은 지마도 니와도 깎게 이제 니와도 가더라. 대바샤 파스 대저라 도지 상발로서 받는 동거지 소소 발라 만들 당장불로서 받는 돈 컨트 잡스 송와라 때네 그 니용 버스 또 따뜻한 선임원들 같은 거 식으로
So actually, the merit. Sometimes we use the words in English accumulations. Sometimes we use the merit, and but anyway, the karma is the actions. It's based on the actions, and so as I mentioned earlier, the karma, the how it determine whether it's good or bad karma based on the individual's how he or she engage in the in actions by caused by the different kind of motivations, and that motivations which cause the individual to engage in the different kind of actions, the good and the bad actions, and then we will say the good karma or bad karma, and also the merit or the accumulations. So there are, the merit usually are the considered as the virtues, good virtues, Uh, uh, but the speaking of the merit, it's involved the what we call uh, the purifying the one's obscurations. For example, in order to accumulate the merit, one's need to engage in a practice such as offering mandala and doing some dharma activities in order to accumulate the merit. But the purifying the one's obscurations, uh, then one's need to engage in the practice of uh, the reciting the mantras such as the Vajrapani mantras and Vajrapani mantras and so forth.
Kitung azun dhirisi. Mi niga papa nila to chago na. Mi chiti papa ten yangji dati dingal no tena choko na. Pawe teni dingal te tani ko deki tongda na samne teni chini chigi yo na. Tegi warisi. Pasho mi tiki to tani di jakba chaka sona jima. Jakba chaka sona sani sago samne to tani yo na. Kunyi chitang to chaya ta papa la jakba chita chibarita. Ina kunyi samlok tangka kalongani. Chita gyawan chita ma gyawan warisi. Tensa ta ngarang namje jiwa chendara dochak sewa te mangsha te ngala pento go ta te ngi kola yogo chigi se dochak sewa se ani sewa ngoma te mare ta ngala pento na mato na kant ko dewa do bachi par ngala chi par dewa chona samne yogo che te sewa ngoma te se chapar te ndi chigi ro yo se kalong samlo tong ta
Yeah. Um, so the speaking of the motivations, and if I give you the example of there's uh, give you the example of the two individuals who feeding pig, who feeding pigs. One person's feeding a pig just have a feeding pig out of generosity and compassions, uh, and make sure the pig well fed and happy. So this is the considered as a good motivations. That good motivations would accumulate the good merit. I mean the good merit and the karma. Where the second person's feeding pig, uh, make sure they well eat and become fat pig, and then the aim is motivation is to kill the pig, have a meat later. So both are the actions are same here. The actions are same. Both are feeding pig. The first person's don't have any expectations. Just want to make sure the pig is happy and well fed. Where the second person is feeding, actions is feeding, but the motivation is not good. Once a pig gets fed and maybe have a feast, party. So different motivations, and similarly, the love. Uh, when we have a love towards someone, uh, if we expecting something back, we love him or her in order to I gain something or I receive the same kind of expectations or maybe other expectations. So that the love is a kind of little bit the not pure love, a little bit corrupted, meaning the love mixed with the strong attachments or desire. But the pure love or the genuine love will be like you love him or her without expecting anything back.
Wa dewa do ban ko dewa do ban nga dinga mat ko dinga mat ba te ta mi ta nam yam ti yo cha ti tong nam ko de ki na sa mi sa mi
Uh, For example, the pure, genuine love will be by thinking that he or she have the same wish that I have to want to be happy, doesn't want suffering. In that way, I'll try my best to give my best love, make sure he or she receive the same wish that I have. So that is the genuine, pure love.
The first question is, if the Buddha is the doctor, the Dharma is the medicine, the Sangha is the nurse, are we talking Sangha who practice Buddhism, or are we talking about the Sangha as the nurse who are the Buddhists?
통당 가서 선지 건축 제 건축 내는 건축 선보텔라 아니 돈 담비 선지 건축 제 건축 내는 건축 또 근조비 있던 근조비 있는 거 정말 쳐버렸어요. 다 전둔 잡듯이 돈 담비 건축이나 있는 건축 때 퍼백이 있는 거지.
The first questions, first your questions, actually you have to understand there are two kinds of the Sangha or the Buddha Dharma Sangha, conventional Buddha Dharma Sangha and ultimate or the true Buddha Dharma Sangha. For the conventional levels, you can see and think as it is, like a nurse as a Sangha member, like a Sangha member like a nurse.
선지 그동 배자도 성화 조성 천돈 줘버렸어. 돈 담비 때고 또 선지 캠바 고든 데당 디지 연든 롱통 토피 담치 남이 이제 롱 토피 토파들 종이 송데 근데 퍼비겐데 세 퍼바 사통보다 돈이 원서 토피 가서 줘버렸어.
And for the conventional, the levels we can just take as what we usually mentions, and the Buddha statues, and as a Buddha, and or the teacher, like temple like a teacher, and the books are the Dharma, and the Sangha. The colleagues and the friends as a Sangha. But ultimate levels, you have to think the Buddha Dharma Sangha. For example, Sangha has to be the arhats, the who gain the wisdom realizing emptiness, and the Buddha is the who gain the who able to seize or the path of the cessations, attend the path of the cessations, and the Dharma will be the knowledge, the teachings or the knowledge the Buddha realize or experience. Yeah.
My second question is, if you say, as an example, you break your arm and you realize, oh, that's my karma, what can you do to purify yourself of those obscurations? I mean, you've done it, you realize that. So would you do the Vajrapani mantra? You know, you've heard yourself, right? You realize, oh, bad karma. Just accepting at that point in your practice.
Chính bản đáp chiến thì chú đồ đó là bắt đầu chỉ chuyên đồ chào đồ chiêu anh thằng nó ô tiền rồi lệ ta lệ dùng thì chào ấy sẽ lệ cắt mai sẽ lại cho ra thì đi into some này ngon chú lệ dùng thì chào ấy na anh ngon chú đi lệ đi anh ấy thao anh chiêu là khai chiêu là sẽ ta chỉ tụi bắt được đồ đó thì nó sẽ đồ đi tôi sẽ bảo sao mà sẽ
일단 그나 내가 지니 내가 지동 알아서 소수지 탑 많기 와이나 럭받제 동한테 용거로 저기 전에 또 약순 실내는 된 종어로 나때 조는 삼지들 럭받제고 삼아도 요 말도 말이 병 종어리 말이 공 종어도 따때 경험하면서 빌리긴 되어 있나리 단다 통치 용주이나 그런데 린 남나 돌리 상세데 경험하면 상세데 대사든 한바탕 단다 신들라 상세가 이가 용거 그때서 대체 벌써 내가 소소랑 논 뜻이 정도 다 이거 있으면 되니 zelando pa chizo tene mongo yor da ta to changma semna chamba chini teta yogo ta mari sane tela yosum chi chini ti che de ni ga sangwa da so ba tene chena te changma chalo da te chong so chum ro de ni magi wa ta changma chaso la jima tin de de ta su yong gu yo ba te sa da san chum de ka ti na 그게 들어가서 나 혹시 말 전시 된 거지 전시 때문에 나도 technical 어떻게 잡을 지고를 세고도 세고다 조언이 때문에나 이거 있어 같은 노트 좀 거. 뜻이네 같은 기와 파서 봐요 거지. 그래서 그 가서
아,
그 조시 말을 전시 이거 전시리 전시 잡을 수 있어요.
음,
방요 맞죠. 방요 봤어요. 방요 서기 뭔가 송 방요 봤어요. 잡을 지고를 뒤당 남아서 방요 봤잖아 쫄라. 가용 거 말은 니와 용거 말해서 그래. 내가 좋다다 별로 같이 좀 방매 방 들려서 무슨 맛이 있다 그러봐. 된사때 통신 용지 근데 단다 쓸때 좋아. 내 너무 나중이었어.
음.
교환 엄마가 되잖아 용지 교환 되게 용지. 교환 하면 니 용지 되게 좋았어.
Uh, the karma actually um, the when we think of the karma, karma is the actions, right? And but of course there are different kinds of karma. Some karmas obvious that we can see, within a short period of times, or the result would arise in this life. But some karma are very profound, and we may accumulate that karma in previous or maybe very very previous life that arising maybe in this life or may arise in next life. So we never know. So there are different kinds of karma. Um, but the karma is the what we call is the actions, and it's depend on the actions we involve or engage, and due to the actions we engage, we experience the results, and so, for example, let's say some actions are due to the bad motivations. Some actions might be lack of understanding of the what to do. For example, if you don't know how to cut vegetables, and we try to be a chef, the getting the sharp knife and try to cut it, we might cut our finger, right? So this is that's why Buddha said, be kind of always careful. Be careful, meaning always watch yourself, watch your actions, and if you do that, and then you will always make know any faults, body, speech, and mind. We will not make any faults or free from the faults by uh, by having the carefulness or the awareness of the body, speech, and mind. And either we might, do out of the bad motivations or not knowing how to do that. And but anyway, the as I mentioned that there are different kind of karma, but some karma might be hard to, only really omniscient ones can tell. But or we know ourselves what we've done in this life. So whenever something happens, or whenever you reciting a mantra, especially the the Vajrapani mantra, and you can kind of like reflect or try to recall as much as you can, what you did in this life. So if you found in this life you did something not supposed to do, which is non-virtuous and so on and so forth, you did it out of negative or bad motivations, then by recalling them, and or by uh, reflecting them, and you kind of recite that mantra and try to purify, and through that way we can purify the bad karma.
Um, I just want to make a slight observation that I think we often in the West confuse karma with ideas of justice, and that you deserve the bad things that happen to you because you did something wrong. So that implies an idea of judgment. But I think if you look at it as purely cause and effect, it takes that whole judgment part out of it. So it's not like these bad things are happening to me because I deserve it. I'm being punished because I've been judged. But simply that would be the result of having the wrong causes leading to the wrong effects. I think the benefit of this idea of not judgment is that then we can accept those negative things that happen to us. Say, well, that I can't see the cause of this, and I may not be wrong thinking or wrong motivation, but this is just something that's inevitable. So then I accept it. So then if I can accept those things because they're karma, not judgments, then I don't have a disturbed mind.
That's means look at
also the nupshu di wayna ni kache di lende da ni also di judgment na shen la da junzu ru chi do de ni do chi do on di buru che ba de chi ku ko shen do de also 강치 와디 네 수수 용고에다 디체디 카이스나디 바주디니 디 딜라 조주 치셰 되죠.
그래 다시 통지는다 아주 렘디 코르다 샤슈는 수고 잡을 말이 미소소소소 삼로 통통다 되게 용 꼬치가 그 정도는 삼로 통통 되게 전부 용고를 도전 용가 미소소소 가르치라 특동다 원어도 미절라파 견주직이나 오인일 그 대방 오마직이나 그런 것도 세축고 통통요 상세 통통요 그런 요거직이 고 노트지고 노트든 얼수 되는 것도 저소하는 거 알아는 것도 잠발은 것도 세셔나 통통된다 세축고 이거지 이나 그 맞지와 지금 들으니 봐 견주지니 미 맞지와도 이 마음바 임버 조나 되냐와 이거지 동호인을 찾게 와 말이지. 이 잡을 것들을 지금 그러지.
저도 인생 같다. 선두치.
그러죠. 저도 요거랑 있는데 요걸 듣는지 잡을 요청해서 하는 거지.
Yeah, so
정원이 잡을 때를 연구서.
yeah, thank you for your comments. And yeah, so just sometime it may be different place and different country, maybe because of their culture and the way of their thinking, maybe they think differently. But the karma, the will be this. It will be always be same. The way how we motivations and apply into our actions. That's what we call it karma. And the speaking of the justice, if I understand the in our society, if someone's making faults and a mistake, and it need to be fixed, then we should tell them, point them the what are the mistake, and we try to fix them. And but if sometime we kind of judging things and event which is making making things and even as untrue or not true, and so that is not good. Uh, okay.
donc de beaucoup de choses c'est là c'est faut que tu la parole comme ça ils sont tout dans les là au New York Soudan ya da
Come. Don't they? Okay. If you don't have any questions, let me share you the story. Yeah. So the story is about uh, the little child.
엄마 네 장로도나 파인체 뭐 요래스 이제 돈도 드시고요 다 엄마도 리지강난 참바죠 참바데 동라 참대도는 되고 디 미치기 진다지 가란다지 뭐 디코 키용했어 그러나 지금한테 디 지나요 꼬마죠 꼬마디 통송다 공다 아니 다 참바 리지강난 고축 받아요 말고나 되고 꼬마 디 연득 문도 손에 디 고동네 고 잠깐 좀 요래 들었어 나는 조금 안 받을 수 있어 아 저런 때 나가 고치 나오는 앞에 딱 근데 이제 맞지 이 기콘은 뭐 녹화창다 아니 이쪽 제고 올랐어 근데 그마가 어때 그마가 집도 살아 알아서나
Uh,
방송 집도 살아
yeah. Um, so there's this story is the meaning of the refuge and the
모두 닮아서
meaning
그마가
of the
또
meaning and the
가리도
benefits of the refuge toward the Buddha Dharma Sangha. And so was a time there was uh, the meditator who did the intense retreat in the cave, and so when he was doing this intense retreat in the cave, one of the sponsor or the devotees brought the food to the meditator, and when he was bringing the food to the meditator, so next to the cave there was a thief, and the thief saw what happening, and when one
이것도 찾아
yeah, one night, and thief came and knocked the door in the cave and asked, "Hey, the meditator, give me whatever you have." And the meditator is a little bit kind of like naughty, He want to give a lesson to the thief, and he said, "Oh, I cannot come out. Maybe you can open your hand and raise your hand through the
기공나한테 가까이오라 기공나는 야도
yeah,
과상서
raise your hand through the window."
내가 로코티 노마야다 그마게 로코야 상니 이거는서 라긴 그 로코트 어디 섬니 땀니 로코트 로코니 한다다네 슬로이 오늘 기빠시 카르트 마스크 다 라마 아자슨 저 상기라 저 동아스크
And what the thief, he raised his hand and tried to get the stuff, but the meditator, the senior monk, he grabbed his hand from the window, tied it, and tied his hand, and the monk went outside, and he, the thief is like this, and he grabbed the stick, and it says but. And when the monk hit the thief, he said each time he hit with the stick, he said, "Lama la gyapsu chill, may take refuge master, take refuge to Buddha, take refuge to Dharma.
이거 좀 동네 있는데 다시 좀 나는 보자 동네 lokati tuni tak mama 죄송 딱 kombat 마 삼바즈고나 야이 근데 kansa ti lagan ti te 동아 te 라마라 지 성질라 지 te 나기도 te 가르세고나 거 칸이다 라마라 지 성질라 지 교리 더스 됐으니 또 교리 또 간르진 슬렌 남때 가른 니와지고나 때 제도 남지 삼바티가나 돈리진도 거스 돈리지 공도 사고 때 공도 돈리 로마도 삼바티 원 멤버네 드지네 고참도 저 때, 요티 스포즈라 잡도 전에 좋아요 시시 요티 저도 시고 말 스교래 나한테
Mhm. And so the monk, beat hit with the stick a number of time, and then later he released thief, and then thief ran far away and just stop and relax under the bridge. Under the bridge, so he was sleeping there, and so he was very in pain, and because the monk whipped him with the stick and said the this chanting. And but anyway, the thief was kind of like very pain, but same time he was confused. And why this monk is beating me with this chanting, Lama Gyapso, Sanyela Chapsucho. And he was thinking that, and by the same time he was saying this chanting, and so they're saying like usually there's a ghost walking on this bridge, but that night ghost couldn't see the thief because ghosts only see the fire at the bridge. And so this is the history we usually share to the childrens, the power of the chanting or the power of the mantra, and if someone say the prayers and chanting or they recite the mantra, so there's a power, and they share this kind of story to children to kind of like inspire them to power of the chanting.
올해다 또기 총총총 어떤 잠바잠바랑 꼰대 손냐에 될 수요지 신나다 때문에 동때 시고지 이 동시 저 동시 또 저도 다른 좀 돈때 뭐지 어떻게 꼭 약속이 되셔지
In Tibet, when we were young, children kind of like they hang out with the other friends, and they will go to their friends, room or the tent. So they will spend time there. So when they do that, so they share this kind of story. I think this story is that kind of. There are many kinds of story about this, and this story is a very good way to introduce Buddha Dharma teachings and story, especially to the childrens. Okay, now we'll say the closing prayers on page number 88. Sorry, page number 80.
Thank you, Geshe Kunga. If you would like to make a donation for this teaching, you may do so by calling 812-336-6807 or by emailing the center at tmbcc.kcl@gmail.com. For those of you here in the temple, if you would like to give a donation, would be greatly appreciated. And if you cannot do so, you may just say a prayer or a mantra in the bowl if you wish. And if anyone would like a tour, my Lynn, who's sitting back here, would be happy to give you a tour of the temple. All right, thank you.
Oh, le zo nian ka dar yang wa kan shi sa lo me ma ye do do wa la de ya we mo mo ta ju also Vitero Jambe Yajin Tsiveji Damere Bakun Janam Jej Ye Rode Yana Ye Rangi je tome mati shudo se jave tame ove ye je mamba Yahweh mamba yuranze Tenbare choye machi cha ya par jurvi so nya je je bo ye na cho de de sa se che ya ve mo jo che la ru cha jo long je ve tar do nam je ye la 청주 생주 마제 마지 제와 양바 메마야 공예 공도 배워서 거래라웨 고래 생각데 벤다 배워 하네 중에